What up, everybody? You're now tuned into the true definition of a sports fanatic. I'm your host, Brandon Lampley, back today with another live stream in the talking. And as you can see, I am no longer a part of the Wolf Clan. I myself went to the barbershop. As you can see, J Mac hooked me up. Appreciate you, J Mac. He got me right, got me looking like kid and play. I appreciate it so much, man. But I got my host here with me once again, Mr. John Reid. How you feeling today, sir?
Doing good, man. Coming off of holiday football around the corner. Watch some good college games. NFL this week. So you know what it is. It's football season, man. Time to be in the man caves.
Yeah, it is football season. Hey, I seen a meme where it say this past Sunday, he said, hey, his wife was sleeping. The dude was tapping on the shoulder. He say, hey, babe, wake up. This is the last Sunday you're going to get me to do something before 1 p.m. So let's go ahead and get it out the way. What you need me to do, clean the gutters, clean what up. Hey, what you need me to do? Because after today, don't talk to me until February about anything after 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy that myself, man. So I'm enjoying the life as a fan, especially on them Sundays from 1 o'clock to what, 6 o'clock.
Oh shoot! Then don't forget Sunday night football. Then you got Monday night football. Then you got Thursday night football.
Thursday night, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we be two more days. We get to see the Bills and the Rams.
Yeah, I can't wait for that, man. That's the one right there.
I think the Bills gonna get them though.
Think the Bills gonna get them? Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. But we're gonna get into some NFL talk next. But we're gonna start out with what I saw this weekend. And man, I don't want to be prisoner of the moment, but this may have been the best college football opening weekend I have ever seen. I'm just saying, there were so many great games, came down to the wire. 2 pick sixes decided 2 different games, and you only had 2 games like that all of such last season. The Florida game was riveting. I couldn't believe Cam Rising threw that interception in the end zone. I can't believe that. And then the LSU Florida State game, it was a battle of is LSU bad and is FSU good? I couldn't really tell. You should have went for 2. You shouldn't have kicked the extra point. I don't know what dude was doing. And then it didn't end well with Georgia Tech and Clemson. I thought it would be a better game. They ended up pulling away late, early. But two quarterbacks that people, I think it's DJ. I can't say his name. They were pronouncing it last night, but I was saying like ukulele because that's how it's spelled. But the Clemson quarterback, it's only a matter of time before he out of there, man. It's only a matter of time because if Clemson has to throw the ball to win the game, you best believe they're not going to win that game if it's a competent opponent. Like if they got to beat any of the Ohio States, Alabamas, Texas A&M's, you name it. No, even Notre Dame. Notre Dame like they got a good defense. If they have to beat any of those type of teams throwing the football, I don't know if old boy can do it. That freshman is going to be in there before you know
it. Yeah. I think they rank 5th. I think Clemson ranked 5th, I believe. I don't think they're the 5th best team in the country.
No, I don't think so either.
But you're right. I think, that probably was the dimmer of the weekend, or the weekend holiday was the Clemson and Georgia Tech. But
yeah.
I enjoyed the Florida game. I think they're a little bit overhyped, a little bit. That's a big win to beat a, 7th ranked team in the country, but you beat them at your place. And from what I heard, Utah was, they had guys with cramping and throwing up and all the kind of things. They had a hard time adjusting to the humidity. But I like the Florida offense. I think they got some issues defensively. I think they're going to have some issues throughout the season, probably defensively. But man, I like what this new coach, when his offensive scheme, you take advantage of a good quarterback. I think their quarterback is excellent, and you utilize his talents, and I think that's what he did. He showed out, to be honest. They don't win that game without what is his name, Anthony Johnson. They don't.
Anthony Richardson.
Richardson, yeah, they don't win that game without all what he did: run for touchdown, throw for touchdown. But I think the hype is a little bit. I think that's.
I was about to ask you about the hype on him, man. He's a good quarterback, great college quarterback. I think he can be one of the top quarterbacks this year in college football. But this NFL hype, man, dude, on 10-10, they was hyping this kid up like he's like the next coming.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think this kid is Vince Young as far as NFL is concerned. I think they need to slow down on the NFL hype train.
Well, I just think they need to slow down on Florida, period. I think that's the problem.
What up, Ness?
Florida, and let's be real, man. Florida is about, I almost would say 28 points. When they play Georgia, they could very easily lose that game by 28 points or more.
Yeah.
So I know it's the home state team, but Georgia, I can't see Florida beating Georgia. But let's get back to this 10-10, man. It's just I think they overhype a whole lot, too much, even the Jags. And like you said, I agree with you. I think he had a good game. I thought that, you could put him up there as top 5 performances of the weekend. But I also heard what you heard, man. When they around here talking about this kid can be I heard one guy say that he could possibly be up there as a number 1 or number 2 overall pick.
That's what I heard too.
Based on one game. I mean, and that's the thing. I always said this, and it generate from that channel, that I think it has a lot to do with too much optimism at times, particularly with the Jaguars. And I just think you got to, they got to come back. They got to play Kentucky this week. In order to judge a quarterback, man, you got to see if he can put back-to-back performances as well as he played against Utah. He got to put together that same type of caliber performance against Kentucky, then whoever they play that next week. And then if you go 5 weeks into the season and he's like second in the nation in passing yardage and he's got a minimum amount of interceptions and no turnovers, then you start hyping them. But yeah, they got a big victory. They beat the 7th team in the country. I didn't think Utah don't look as tough as they did a year ago. They got a good quarterback, and you give them another possession, I would have thought Utah probably would have won that game, but it is what it is. We live in the state of Florida. There's a lot of Florida fans. So you got to live with the hype, but man, let's tone it down a little bit about Anthony Richardson being like a number 1, number 2 overall pick in the upcoming draft. You got a lot of football ahead, and we gotta see it. You can't talk about it. He's gotta perform it, and we gotta see it before we start talking about all that kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, they mentioned him along the sides and names with. There's like, he's better than C.J. Stroud. The only quarterback can compete with him is Bryce Young. And I'm like, y'all are smoking. I was like, I don't know what y'all saw, but I saw a kid who's still inconsistent. He still has some accuracy issues. Them feet were all over the place in the pocket. And that's where his accuracy issues come from. Feet not set, he's not driving the ball. It's just, I was looking at him like, man, I'll say, I don't know. But that was time. Every now and then he'll show flashes. I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. Now, athleticism, size, 6'4", 232 pounds, probably runs like a 4.4. Got it. Excellent athlete. But we talking about a top-tier quarterback, a top pick in the draft, a guy who projects to be – they say he's – because, like, Jeff Prosser said he's better than Trey Lance. I don't know about that one, man. I can't get on that bandwagon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Jeff Prosser is a little overhyped. Overhype him. You know me, I'm gonna tell it like it is. I just think he overhyped the guy. You know, he's Florida grad, and I think he's overhyping this guy's talent. You know, you gotta let the weeks play out before you start doing that. And I gotta say, he had probably top 3, top 5 performance of quarterbacks this past weekend. But what is he gonna do against Kentucky? Kentucky gonna give them a good test. You know, they get a good defensive test from Kentucky, but man, they got a tough schedule, man. You can't be hyping up in September when they got Georgia ahead. Got these tough teams ahead. And what if he played against Georgia and throw 3 picks and then, you know, fumble twice or something like that? Then all that hype he done. So calm it down, Mr. Prosser. I know you're a UF grad, but come on, man. You can't hype a guy number 1 overall pick and better than pro quarterbacks after 1 week. Now he's good. You know, he's you know, I would say this, that Richardson is good. One of their better quarterbacks they done had in several years, you know.
He should have started last year as well. Yeah. I don't know why he shouldn't have been on the bench last year. He should have started over Emory Jones.
Yeah, the former head coach was loyal to Emory.
And it was his downfall.
You saw what had happened. It cost him his job, basically. You know, and then, you know, Richardson got hurt a lot last year too. So, but you gotta let the season play out, man. I know the Gators probably, if you look back, Gators probably had one of the. I mean, I thought Ohio State in that Notre Dame game, you know, nip and tuck, and I think Notre Dame was 5th in the country. So I thought that was one of the bigger wins, if you want to call it that. But, you know, obviously Florida upsetting the 7th-ranked team in the country. Probably, you know, it deserved the hype of what they did. You know, I would assume a lot of people wasn't expecting them to, you know, come in that game and beat Utah, basically. But, you know, the crowd was great. Atmosphere was great. Heat and humility, I think, kind of hurt Utah. But, you know, I can't say Utah is on the same level of Georgia.
No.
Anything like that. I don't think they're on the same level as Ohio State and some other teams that I saw. But good win for them, but let's calm down the hype a little bit on Anthony Richardson.
Now, I will say I was happy for the Florida State fans, man. The Florida State fans have been going through it. You know, people have been dragging them. I know Ness was beside himself. Ness, did you need a cigarette after the game? That's all I need to know, Ness. Did you need a cigarette? Did you have to pull out the respirator? Because, dude, I know your wife had to bring you back to life after that fumble on the goal line. Which I don't know why. Why are you running toss plays on the goal line? I don't understand that, man. What's going on?
Yeah, they said that a lot on the announcers of that game. Like, why would you throw a pitch on a goal line? Whatever, at the 2-yard line. But Florida State is Florida State, man. I say this, man. I like their defensive front. I thought they out-physical LSU. I like the quarterback on some of the things that he did. Nice reads, getting the ball out. I don't know the name of number 80, their tall receiver, but he looked great. And I want to see Florida State beat
Ontario Wilson.
That's his name?
Yeah, Ontario Wilson.
Florida State being Florida State, which is nice receivers, speed, tall receivers, getting the ball out in the flat and letting the receiver do what he need to do to get space. And I saw some of those things. They did a lot of rollout passing. And but to me, you know, even though it came down to a blocked field goal to win that game, I really thought that Florida State to me, Florida State was a better team. To me, you know, overall, I thought they were the better team. I thought that they didn't have a problem with LSU defense. They did really control it offensively. They look like they could score on them and control things offensively. And I don't know, LSU didn't look LSU to me. They just look like they still in transition with the new head coach. But big win from FSU, man. They'll go to Baton Rouge. I mean, go to play in the Superdome. And Florida State brought a lot of fans. It wasn't just like a all LSU crowd at the Superdome.
No, they were out there. I heard war chants.
Yeah, war chants and the celebrations in the end zone. And so,
yeah, they were all over Twitter too, posting pictures. They were out there. Oh, Marcus Wood, he repping. If you ain't Gator, you Gator bait. We got some Gators in the house. we just talked about your boy Anthony Richardson. Tell him to calm that hype train down. Calm the hype down.
Let's stick to college.
Talking about top 5 NFL pick. I'm like, hey, let that man finish a full season start.
Guy could go to Seattle and be Seattle starting quarterback this week. I'm talking about the Seahawks.
yeah. Right.
Yeah, Mr. Prosser. Just calm that hype train down. We know you're a UF grad, but come on, man. Don't put it out there. Let's see what he do this week.
Oh, and that's his name. Number 5 for Florida State. That transfer, Jared Verse from Albany. Man, that's an NFL prospect right there.
Yeah, no question on that. He dominated.
He wrecked the game.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I want to see what the box score is and see just how many sacks. He had 2 sacks, I think.
I think so. I think he had like 2 sacks. But man, that kid can play.
Yeah. So we see what them Seminoles do against the Miami. Miami put almost 100 points on Bethune.
Oh, of course. Oh yeah, I got to give some love to Shador Sanders. They played against FAM, and he went 17 for 17, 3 touchdowns. And I think it was in the end of the third or the start of the fourth quarter. He was on the sidelines with his pads off with ice on. He had a chain on and an iced out watch on. I say, man, they out here. Hey, he is his dad, man. They did an interview with him, and he was talking in the third person. He's his dad.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Must be the money.
Yeah, must be the money. The lady interviewing him, and she was like, she asking him, she's like, well, what do you think about your O-line? You said they're most improved. He's like, 2 has a great offensive line.
Oh, that's what he goes to.
Yeah, he says 2 has a great offensive line. You're number 2.
Yeah.
I said, man, this boy here.
59-3. Good Lord, and they played the game in Florida at Miami.
Yeah.
Lord, what's wrong with our Rattlers this year, man?
I don't know what's going on.
59-3.
Yeah, man.
And they played this last year.
No, they did.
Played them tough. Ooh, boy, that's ugly there, boy. You go down to Miami and you're a Rattler fan and you lose 59-3.
Yeah. Let's see. Marcus say, no, AR has to develop before he gets to the NFL. It's so funny how people say college football is better than the pros. I'll be like, no, it's not. Everything about the pros is stronger, better, faster, and wiser than college football. To me, it's night and day. I always heard those arguments because they always talk about the worst teams. Like they'll talk about the Jaguars and the Jaguars being really, really bad or whatever, or the Browns or, whatever team's really bad. They always talk about how, well, Alabama could beat this team. No, they can't. If they play 10 times, the NFL team is going to win 10 times. It's not close, man. It is a wash. Yeah. Alabama, right? Bryce Young and Alabama will be lucky if they score on the worst NFL team. They'll be lucky if they score. That's just what it is.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, they used to say that Alabama could beat the Jags.
No,
during that 1-15 season when they got Trevor, that they could beat them. But lines are different. Defensive lines are different. More talent. There's no comparison. So.
Yeah, there's no comparison. None whatsoever. Yeah. But, man, we're going to say we leave it right there. The college football. I think. Can't forget that Alabama-Texas game next week. Alabama beat Utah State. I knew it was gonna beat the doors off Utah State, but I'm thinking, Texas, give them a decent game. It won't be a blowout. Man, that line has moved to 20 points.
Yeah.
It started at 14. It's at 20 now.
Man, let me tell you. Texas, now if this was Texas A&M and not Texas A&M will give them a game. I think
Texas A&M give them a game.
I think Alabama going to blow the Longhorns out, man. That's I don't think it's going to be close. One thing about Alabama, when Alabama coming off a season, and maybe they should have, I think it's going to come back between Alabama and Georgia again. But, man, Alabama might be coming this season with vengeance, even though that was Utah State.
Yeah.
Man. I think their offensive line is better. They got they lost quality receivers and they still got quality receivers on the field. So I'm not a Longhorn fan, man. I done watched a lot of Texas and OU.
Yeah.
And just like, to me, it just seems like the Longhorns have a hard time playing in big games. In the big game that they should be competitive, or they got a ranked opponent, and a lot of times they don't show up. So we'll see.
Yeah. This was Shedeur Sanders in the fourth quarter. With it, look at pads off, straight chilling, look like he hydrated with ice on.
Hey, hold on. Game ain't even over yet. Hey, best QB in the nation, man. Beautiful thing. Best QB in the nation, man. Beautiful thing. Hey, we really like that. We all get a shot. We really like that. This is gold. No count. Hey, hold on that shit, man. This shit stout, man. It's ice. It's ice. Yes, sir.
So let's see what it got.
They too comfortable, man. They straight chilling.
Man, we got to play that again. He got on his gold chain with the dollar sign. He got the dollar sign hat on, and he got a gold watch, and the game's still going on. He's blinging after he done put up 59 points.
Shoot, hey, that's ice right there. That's straight ice. That is straight diamonds.
Look at that. He got the chain. And that's his own teammate saying the game ain't over yet. Look at that bling, man. Lord, boy, that's what you call. Now that's the biggest taunt you can get. Look at the boys just playing the goal wide. What we early fourth quarter?
Yeah, they're in the fourth quarter. Early fourth quarter. Straight chilling, man.
Boy, you got to remember that one, boy. That's embarrassment. The man done went in I don't even know. He done put all his ice on. Got a dollar sign hat. After he done threw, what he went, 17 or 17?
17 to 17 with 3 touchdowns. Now you on the sideline. That's yeah. Absolutely.
Boy, that's blinging on the Florida A&M Rattlers in Miami in the home state. Lord have mercy. Now that's what you call taunt. That's the biggest taunt you can get right there.
That's taunting. Absolutely.
Game over. Yeah. Game over.
Yeah, we go ahead and pack it up and go home. Say Nick Saban has a better record than most of these teams. He stays consistent due to great coaching. Yeah, he's an excellent coach. Say Not True Texas has had great recruiting as well, all depending on what Sark plans to do with his O-line. I mean, that's all fine and good. You see what Sark do with the O-line, but it's a freshman starting at quarterback.
A freshman going up against Alabama?
Yeah. I don't even – when was the last time a freshman beat Alabama? What, Johnny Manziel? I can't think of any other ones.
It might have was Manziel. I mean, they beat
Manziel, I think, was the last one.
Man, I just
don't. And you talking about what the hell is that around his neck? Seriously. Hey, you see the ice nest? Now come on, let's look at that one more time, man. Let's look at this. You see that ice?
Game ain't even over yet. And they blinking.
Sure, it's 5 minutes left in the game. I just saw the scoreboard.
But it's already 59-3.
Yeah, it's 50. Yeah, 59-3.
Oh, man. Yeah. You beat that bad. I guess you can celebrate.
Right.
Everybody.
Yeah. He's about looking like Dale Klein against FSU at FAMU. Seriously, dude, they beat the doors off those guys. I mean, just what it is.
Yeah, they put a whipping on A&M in the home state. Beat them in Miami in the backyard of the state. And played
now. Go ahead.
I said that I watched a little bit of that game last year when A&M played Jackson State, and they played them pretty tough last year in the Classic. They had the Classic last year, and they played against us, but Lord knows what happened this year.
Right.
Man, can't score a point on Jackson State. Jeez. And that's sharp.
Man. All right, so man, we're gonna leave it right there. College football, man. That was a great way to kick off football season this past weekend. Great slate of games, man. Absolutely amazing. But we're gonna get into some of this NFL, and we'll start with the Jaguars. Go ahead and talk. From what I saw, man, James Robinson is going to play. I saw that come on my phone today. I said couldn't believe it, man. James Robinson is going to play. He was like, it was no doubt in his mind that he was going to play. He said he didn't know what everybody else expected. He said he was rehabbing. That was the target to get back week 1. And he said he will be available and suited up for week 1. Now, I will say, I don't know. I will have him on a pitch count at least. I mean, he getting no more than 10 to 15 touches because I'm not running him. Like he's not getting 30 carries. Like he's not getting 30 carries. I'm not trying to run him into the ground and have him re-injure. I'm gonna have him on a pitch count. And I honestly think it may be a little too early for him to come back because I don't think he can wait. I don't think you need to rush him back. He may be rushing himself back, but hey, he said he's going to be available for week 1.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, I saw a little clip where he was cutting and he looked good in the little clip. But if I was on the other end of this situation, I don't know if I would brush him back like that, man. I mean, it's a major injury. I think he in 1/8, probably about a 9-month rehab and everything. So. And he could hype it up a lot that he's going to play, which Doug Peterson already said yesterday, I believe. But they haven't said how many snaps he's going to get, so it could be 5 snaps, could be a series, and just see how he does. But I wouldn't rush it, man. That's a major injury. Surely he hadn't been tackled all year. I think it's miraculous that he's back, in a playing situation. But I don't think you rush him if you don't need to, and I don't think they desperately have to have him in week 1. I mean, I think Etienne can carry the mail and whatever they got behind him, but I think it's on the kid. I think the kid put in the work. Obviously, he put the work in to get back to where he's at this point right now. And but I would really be on the cautious note Sunday on his snap count and just gradually bringing him along to I would say by week 3. Maybe he could get a normal workload, but I would not. There's no way in the world I would give that kid 15 carries in this game Sunday, for his sake, for his health, his sake. Because you know what, Brandon, the bottom line is this. If he re-injured that Achilles tendon, his career could be over. And that's the thing you have to look out. I know this is a big season opening game, They playing on the road. But I've seen many guys have that injury, man, and some didn't come back. Guys get that injury in the NBA, they never the same ever again. And you have to really take caution, and not necessarily you gotta, I think you really gotta look at career-wise. I mean, you don't want him to have a setback that's career threatening, and I'm almost to the point why I almost tweeted that, but I understand this kid doesn't put everything into this. He didn't go home when those rest of those veterans took they had the veteran mini camp back in June and everybody went home. He didn't go home. He worked them, So I think he's an inspiration for the football team also. I mean, he's a kid that doesn't speak a lot, but he just let his actions speak for him. And I don't think his value is as, and I know some might disagree with this statement, but I don't think his value is as critical this year as it's been last season and the season before that. I think Etienne is their guy. I think he's the starter, regardless of if James Robinson back or not. But I think it's good for the kid to have that, just to fight through a injury that is as serious as what he went through that occurred in December. And I think it's tremendous that he's fully back to even be in consideration to be back in the lineup. But man, they really gotta. I know it's a good story, great storyline this week that James Robinson back, but boy, you don't want him to have a setback. What can happen in week 1 can week 2 and week 3, and to be honest. The more critical games is, I know everybody wants the Jaguars to get off to a great start with week 1, but when they really need James Robinson is like at the end of the month,
Yeah.
In
the end cold.
You want to get bigger games and everything like that. So I'm glad that the young man is back, but boy, I just hope that the Jags really cautiously bring him along. Don't throw him out there and give him 17 carries and all that kind of stuff, man. Let the kid gradually get into where he needs to be at, and just always put on a sign of caution, man. That's a major injury. You don't want that to happen again to him. So
yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So we're gonna take a look at this depth chart ahead of week 1, and some interesting on this depth chart. So of course we expected Marvin Jones and Zay Jones on the outside, Christian Kirk in the slot. So Ben Barch is starting at left guard. So that is one to keep your eye on right there. You got to keep your eye on that there. Of course, Luke Fortner, the rookie, starts at center. Brandon Sheriff, right guard. Juwan Taylor at right tackle. Walk a little backing up. Pretty much both tackle spots. Cole Van Lannon is your backup guard. And Tyler Shatley, backup center and guard. Let's see. Jamal Agnew is backup slot. Also, Tim Jones backing up Zay Jones. Kendrick Pryor backing up Marvin Jones. And, of course, the James Robinson, they put or. So, James Robinson, Travis Etienne, either or. Snoop Connor and Jermichael Hasty. I like the Jermichael Hasty pickup. I think that was a good pickup.
I think it strengthened their running back room, picking him up. He's versatile. Yeah. But let's go back to this Ben Barch.
I knew you were going to say that.
I don't like that move. I don't think they got many options, though. This to me, and I've been saying this since the draft. I think that the offensive line is the trouble here. I'm looking at their depth. I'm looking at guys who wasn't even on this roster. And the depth chart I got, I'm surely Walker Little is going to be backing up the Cam and Juwan Taylor. Yeah. But I don't know who Cole Van Lennon is. I don't like the depth no matter what. To me, I just don't think they got enough depth. I'm not sold on a kid like Ben Barch. I mean, I know he started 8 games last year, I believe, but I mean, you're in the trench, man, and then you starting a rookie at center. I like what I mean. I've been probably the most vocal critic of Jawan Taylor since last year, but I have to commend the young man. I thought he came in. I think competition helped boost his performances at practices and things, and I think that he's a different player from what he was last year. And I think the guy who lost out on an opportunity and didn't cash in on an opportunity is Walker Little. You know, I think he had that starting job, and I didn't think he wanted it enough. I didn't think he was physical enough, and I just think that he squandered an opportunity. And Jawan Taylor, you know, say what you want to say about him, but he showed physical toughness. He worked on his footwork during the off season, and he won the job outright, you know, and that's what you want. You know, you want a guy who doesn't take it for granted. I thought last year a couple of times, and even the year before that, I thought Jawan Taylor didn't, you know, I thought he took it for granted a little bit. You know, you got a guy who played every snap, never missed a snap, never taken out of a rep, you know, for bad play. But this is a long season, Brandon. I mean, anything can happen. It could be week 3 that he might get a holding call, back-to-back holding calls or something, or let a guy get around him, the sack trip, and he'd be back in the same situation he was last year. But this time, he won't be in the game. He'll be on the sideline. And all it takes is a couple of mistakes, and you lose your job. But the bottom line, what I'm trying to say is that competition brings the best out of some guys, and competition also it makes some guys fold. And I think that's what happened at that position. I think that Walker Little didn't rise up to the challenge, and I thought Jawan Taylor, who needed competition, you know, for the last 2 years, rose up to that level that, you know, he's not going to let somebody take the job from him, and that's what you want. I just think that there's not enough depth on the offensive line. I think you got Ben Barch, who's not experienced. I think he's got problems with his strength, some technique flaws. But I like to me, I like the right side of the line better than I like the left side of the line because of Ben Barch. I think Cam Robinson going to have a great season, but everything that Brandon Sheriff has been labeled, I think that was a good pickup for this team. And he's one of the captains, so he's the leader of that group. But I think I think the money that they spent on Brandon Sheriff is well spent, and I think he's going to be like the cornerstone of that offensive line. But the depth is the problem, man. You're almost asking, looking at that depth chart, you're almost asking, almost pleading that we can't have any injuries to those starters on the offensive line. That's basically what it looked like to me.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I am with you. I am with you. Yeah, and Cole Van Landen is somebody who we haven't seen. So I you know, supposedly they really like him. You know, they speak highly of him, but I don't know, you know, what we're going to get from him. And, you know, Shatley, we know what Shatley is. You know, Shatley's solid. He could start for you a couple games in the pinch if you need him to. Walker Little, like you say, he let an opportunity slip through his hands. And the thing about Jawan Taylor is, though, this isn't like last year, you know. So he is going to – Walker Little is going to be breathing down his neck. So you're right. He back-to-back holding penalties, false starts and all of that. He's going to be on the sideline, and Walker Little is going to be in the game. So I think that's a little more incentive for him to clean up his play. As far as tight ends, they didn't do it. I wanted them to do something at tight end, and they didn't. You know, they kept the status quo with Manhurts, Farrell, which Evan Ingram and Dan Arnold was fine, but no, they could have brought another guy in.
Yeah, and it's not so much that Evan Ingram and Dan Arnold, but I thought they should have did address that. I would not have had no problems if they would have looked for the best guy who got cut off a contending team and filled like the third tight end spot. I don't know if there's enough firepower. I know that Evan Ingram can have a good year. He's capable of that. And I know that during the spring portion of practices with the off-season program, it seems to me that Trevor Lawrence took a liking to him because he always found a way to get open. And let's be real, he's not really a tight end. I mean, he's playing the position, but he's not really a tight end. He's probably more of a slot receiver than a tight end, but he can get open. So I think he's going to take a lot of – I think he's going to get a lot of snaps, and I don't know how much big of a role Dan Arnold's going to have. I don't know if he's going to get as many targets as as received last season when they didn't really have a tight end. But it's good to have two guys capable of making catches and moving the chains in that position. But I'm with you. I would like to see another pass threat type of guy as the third tight end. And I would assume so Manhurts is the third tight end, right?
Yeah, because let's say you got two tight end starters. So Evan Ingram and Manhurts at both the tight end spots. Luke Farrell backs up Manhurts, and Dan Arnold backs up Evan Ingram. So basically, you got two pass catching tight ends and essentially two blocking tight ends.
I'm surprised they kept 4 tight ends, and I'm surprised that Luke Farrell
made the team.
Get traded or got cut. Because the reality is, I don't think you need Manhurts and Farrell. And then I'm looking at a hole right now at left guard where there's no backup, and then you got a kid that's really learning the position. So I don't know about that move, man. I'm looking at that depth chart. I don't see anybody behind Ben Barge. So Tyler Shatley can do it, but Tyler was going to be a starter, and he had a bad game, I believe, against Pittsburgh, where his height and his length of arm, and he just couldn't get up on a defensive tackle. So that's what you're looking at as your backup. So I don't like that situation, man. I don't. There should be no open spots in a 17-game schedule where you playing a guy and Tyler Shatley is a veteran. I like him more at center as a backup than I do at a left guard. I'll tell you that, and it showed in that preseason game. So, and then I just don't think that and it's my opinion, in my opinion alone, I don't think this team needs 4 tight ends. I think you could added another receiver, added a backup left, a legitimate backup left guard, but I think Manhurts and Farrell they're basically a clone, and Manhurts is a better blocker than Luke. So
absolutely. Absolutely. He said, Ness, I like Arnold. He balled out. And, dude, Arnold is 1 year removed from almost breaking a Jaguars tight end record with having at least 50-yard receiving in 4 straight games. I mean, we can't forget that. And when I saw that stat come up, I was like, that is insane. That lets you know that this team had no plan at tight end when they released Mercedes Lewis. That's all that lets me know.
Yeah. No plan whatsoever. And it's hurt the team. I mean, it's hurt this franchise to not have. If you look around the league,
tight ends,
your top
tight ends galore.
Is the tight end. Go watch Kansas City and Kelsey. I mean, you got to have a guy. I like Evan Ingram though. He's not big.
I do like Evan Ingram,
but I think he's a guy that can get you the yardage. He can move the chains, and he plays like a wide. Basically, he's a wide receiver playing tight end. So I like that. But you know what? I would have got the kid. Hey, if it was me, and they were looking at him during the draft process, I would have got the kid out of Coastal Carolina. That's who I would have got.
He said, "Are they going 2 tight ends and wide receivers set starting?" I doubt it. It's going to be 3-4 wide receivers on the field most of the time anyway. And Evan Ingram, he'll be on the field, but he'll be a pseudo wide receiver.
Yeah.
He'll have his hand in the dirt from time to time, but he's going to be a wide receiver most of the time. When you see Manhurts in the game, most likely they'll be running the football.
Yeah, it'd be on first. He'd be on first and second down, and then I don't know what Farrell's role would be. I guess if Manhurts get hurt, then he'll come in. But I think they could run some double tight ends, but not a lot of it. But I just don't think they need 4 tight ends on this roster, man. That's just my opinion. I always thought Luke Farrell was a guy that, Urban Meyer recruited. And, maybe he did earn his spot. I'm not at the practices, but I just don't think this team needs 4 tight ends. Maybe 3, then add another receiver, or you could have added a backup left guard. And who knows? It could still change. A lot of people in the city was talking about Gosses and, man, what are they doing? And, they got, 4 defensive tackles and all 6 linebackers. And what are they doing? And look what they did. They brought them back.
And they used him basically as a chess piece. They knew they could release him and bring him back. They probably told him, say, hey, we're going to release you. They would be able to, and no teams jump on him, and was able to bring him back. So, he said, I think too many tight ends use that extra tight end for O-line. We said that. Instead of running keeping 4 tight ends, go get a legit backup guard. Another legit backup guard.
In my opinion, that's what they should have did. To just get sometimes you have to prepare for a season when you don't know what's going to happen, but you still prepare. To me, I don't know if Ben Barch has done enough that I feel confident that he could last the whole season without needing help at that position. I just don't feel confident in him in being a guy that's gonna be a perennial starter for 17 games, and you don't have a question at that position. I mean, to be honest, he didn't really have a strong camp. He did okay, but he didn't have a strong camp, and there was questions whether or not, hey, is he going to start or Tyler going to start? But not to have a backup and have 4 tight ends, that might hurt them. They might need to want to rethink that one, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into this defense, which we kind of knew what the deal was defensively. Devon Hamilton and nose tackle, and people were talking about them not having another a backup nose tackle. And, Doug Peterson and the staff straight up told them, it's like, hey, the teams we're going to play against, there's really no need to have another 330-pound body, because a lot of times, it's not going to get a ton of snaps. From time to time he'll be in the game, but he's not going to get a ton of snaps. What you mostly going to see is you're going to see nothing but DNs on that front line. You're going to see very few defensive tackles. So you got Devon Hamilton and Roy Robinson Harris starts. Fadakasi starts. We're backing up with DeJuan Smoot, Arden Key, with they flip-flops at either or. And, of course, Gotsis, Will linebacker, Josh Allen, backup Deshaun Dixon. I like Deshaun Dixon. Did they add Jameer Jones to the practice squad? Because they did cut Jameer Jones. I like Jameer Jones.
Yeah, I like Deshaun Dixon, man.
I like Dixon.
Solid from the offseason program on. There's no surprise to me that he made the roster, because he's got size, he's got speed. He worked a lot with Trayvon Walker during the all-season program, and I'm not shocked at that. And I think you're going to see a guy that's going to be a headhunter on those special teams. It's going to be Dixon. He's gonna knock some guys' block off on those special teams, man.
Yeah. See, Trayvon Walker, of course, starts at Sam, backing up your boy Caleb Von Chase on. Of course, Alua Khan and Devin Lloyd in the middle, with Muma Quarterman backing them up, and Caleb Johnson. Corner. So Darius Williams, Tyson Campbell, and Shaquille Griffin. So Tyson Campbell, of course, that's going to be your top corner. Now, who's playing nickel? Is it going to be Shaquille Griffin or Darius Williams?
I think Shaquille would be on your outside to start the season. It'll be on the outside with Campbell, and I think Darius Williams will be your nickel. And then Lord knows we don't want Trey Herndon as.
Oh man.
We don't want Trey. You know, Trey can come in, but you got to give him some safety help. But I think Darius is going to be that nickel back, and then you have Shaq and Tyson Campbell will be at the outside corners, and your safeties will be Jenkins and Cisco. And Lord have mercy, I like to see Wingard on the special teams.
Yeah. We need Dewey to run down on those kicks.
Yeah, that's for sure. We need Dewey. We don't need Dewey in the game on 70 snaps or nothing like that. So
no, definitely not in. Hey, we definitely not in on 3rd and long.
And I'm glad to see Cisco from the start. You know, I thought Cisco should have been a starter from week 3 on, maybe even before week 3. But it's good that you got your cornerstone guys in this secondary. The guy ain't looking up the ladder; he's on top of the ladder, and let him go. Just let him play free. I thought last year he didn't get an opportunity to play free. I thought he made a lot of plays at practice that got overlooked, and he didn't get the snaps that he should have got in the regular season. And I think the kid just needed the opportunity, and it looked like this situation. He's a starter, free safety, and I think you're going to see him shine in this secondary. And I don't know what Darius Williams. I mean, I know he's been hurt, but you know, he's had limited work doing doing training camp and everything. But I guarantee, I think he'll be the nickel ahead of Trey Herndon.
Absolutely. So, you know, you got Monteric Brown. They keep Monteric Brown. Chris Claybrooks is a backup as well. Daniel Thomas and Tyree Gillespie on your backup safety. So, you know, all in all, I am very, very confident in this defensive group. I think this is a really, really solid group.
It's good.
And their depth is much better than especially on offense. You know, their depth is much better. It can be better. You know, you can always get better, especially the backup DBs. The defensive line is they have the most depth on the team out of any position.
No question.
But then these DBs, you can get better at backup DB for sure.
I'm ready to see the Wayne Smoot and Arden Key. I mean, that's a lot of good depth there. That's quality depth. That's the kind of depth they need on the offensive line, to be honest. Yeah. You got that.
Yeah, it's Kassan. Yeah.
And
Lord knows, as soon as they see 37 in the game.
Lord knows they can't have Trey and Dewey in the secondary at the same time, man. That's a 1 in 15 lineup.
Absolutely. Now the calls for concern. This kicker Riley Patterson, we haven't seen him, so that's going to be cause for concern. And hopefully he's able to make some kicks early and kind of calm us down a little bit. But ever since you released Matthew Wright, I mean, it's been a cluster F. I mean, it's just what it is. They have not done their due diligence at kicker. I don't like the moves that they've made, because if you release Matthew Wright, dude, you got to come up with something better than this. A kicker who hasn't worn a Jaguars jersey and won't wear one until week 1 of the regular season.
Yeah, I didn't like that move. You know, I know he played on the team last year, I think, but this should have been addressed. This is one where the GM might be questioned by the end of this month. You know, I think you have to solidify your kicking. I know they went through the Lambeau, all that stuff, but man, you You don't go out and just grab a kicker, cut the 2 or 3 that you had, because we went through a year like that where they just had but last year, to be honest, where they just had a whole bunch of kickers, and then you still hadn't addressed. To me, you hadn't really addressed the position. I mean, even if you would have used a 7th round pick to get a kicker, I wouldn't have had no problem with that. But that might be a problem, Brandon. The kicking place kicker might be a problem. And let's looking at this depth chart on defense. I think that's solid. I'm a little, I don't think they can get many injuries. Obviously, well, most teams you can't get many injuries, but definitely the front 7, the linebackers, and the defensive line is way ahead of this secondary, in my opinion. I think I like the front 7. I like the fact that they got quality depth, and that's what they don't have on the offensive line. But I'm looking at like Roy Robertson Harris. I think I really feel he's gonna have a sort of like a breakout season. I think Devon Hamilton will do good. And then we gotta, I think a lot of pressure is on Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen got to I know everybody talking about the pairing of how well that Josh Allen and Trevon Walker gonna do. But a lot of the pressure is on Josh Allen. Josh Allen got to play like an all-star. He's got to play like he did that.
He knows it.
Yeah, he knows it. I mean, he's in the contract year also, so he's got to produce, man. And what else can we say about a guy like Chase on? I mean, it's just I only think that the Jaguars saving face. They don't want any more embarrassment, but I don't even know if this guy really truly earned the roster spot, to be honest. I mean, I just think he's on the roster because they couldn't trade him. Nobody wants him. And I see him playing behind Walker. I don't know what that means for him. Maybe he just be a situation. To me, this like he's just a situational player. You just put him in and cross your fingers and hope he can get some pass rush pressure and don't get any penalties or do anything crazy, Yeah. And I think that's about all his role is, You can't defend that, man. You can't. I heard a guy on a radio show 2 weeks ago defending Chase on, and you can't defend that, man. You can't go out and draft a guy first round, and the most you're going to get from him, as long as he in Jacksonville, he's going to be a backup. And that's what you're going to get. And I just think those are the problems that the franchise has, in the past. I know going forward, I think they had a great draft this spring, but the pass always comes back up to hurt the team because you can't have number 1 first round picks playing as backups. I mean, that's almost like you 2 years behind. If you go out and get another first round pick, you might have to get another first round pick to replace him. I think they're just hoping, and it's just my opinion, I think they're just hoping he can have a couple of breakout games and try to trade him. I mean, I think that's the only value for Chase on this franchise is to trade him to get something else that you can utilize. I mean, I think playing behind Walker, I think all he's going to be, he may be put in on third downs, but I don't think he's going to get a whole lot of snaps, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to get a whole lot of snaps either. I think they'll put him in on, obvious passing downs, put him there to throw some more speed in there, like they did against Pittsburgh, where they had him, Arden Key, and Trayvon in the middle with Josh Allen and him on the outside. I think you'll see that from time to time, but that's about it. I don't see him playing many meaningful snaps unless somebody gets hurt. That's about it.
And I want to see what Devin Lloyd got. I thought Devin Lloyd played good for the few snaps he had in the Falcons game. And, there was some talk if he's going to start. I think that's a no-brainer, man. I think you put your, regardless of the circumstances, you put your best 11 out there on the field. And he's definitely among the best 11 on that defense. So all that, we don't need to go back to the college and you got to prove to me that you're an NFL player and that kind of thing. So put your best 11 out there on the field. Let the guy blitz a little bit more. I thought they should have, put in a couple of blitz plays just to get them acclimated to that. But I like to see this guy come off the edge, and I want to see him on some blitz packages against the Redskins. Because one thing, Brandon, when they play the Redskins, not the Redskins, when they play the sorry, and they play Washington, the Commanders, they got to put pressure on the quarterback. That's the best chance they got to win.
Yeah, absolutely. So before we move on to our next topic, because we stay in the NFL, let's get some picks in, man. So let's see. I got them. I'm gonna have them roll. I'm gonna keep a log of this. So we picking division winners, and then pick which team's gonna win a division, and like what team you think making the playoffs as far as wild card, and then who are your 2 Super Bowl picks. So we'll start with the NFC East. So who you got winning the NFC East?
Well, let me see. I think Philadelphia going to surprise some people, but I think Dallas got the most talent. So I don't know. I just think Dallas could average about 30 points a game if everything go right. The offensive line is not all that good, but I like the quarterback. So I'm picking Dallas to win the NFC East.
Okay. I got the Eagles. Hey, there you go, Kassan. I appreciate it. I got the Eagles. I think the Eagles gonna get them. I think they're gonna be better than people think. They're off. They had an excellent off season. Off season. And Jalen Hurts, I think he can take another step forward. I think you got a really, really good team in Philly. And it's going to come down to those two. They say, Nessa, give me Philly. Dallas choke history is too strong.
Yeah, they are choke artists. You got that right. Man, I ain't going to sit here and say that ain't KK. If they don't win the division, you can best believe that they'll be going after Sean Payton as the coach of the team.
I think that's in the works already. I think the handshake has already happened in that case right there. They're gonna act like that's not the case, but I think that's already the case. He's been linked to them for too long. I think that, and I will say this: if Dallas misses the playoffs, Mike McCarthy is gone. Sean Payton is the head coach next year for the Dallas Cowboys.
I make this prediction: if they don't have a winning record after the first, whenever they take that that bye week, like if they start off slow, he could very well be the first coach fired, in my opinion.
I like that. Yeah, I would agree with that. I like that. I think he'd be one of the first ones gone, man. Yeah. Jerry Jones, his patience is gone. He wants to win. Yeah. He wants to win. So let's see. NFC West. This one is interesting, but who you got? Because I know who I got. NFC West. I know it ain't the Seahawks.
I'm gonna go with you. No, it ain't the Seahawks. The Seahawks might have a hard time getting those 8 wins if they have a winning record. But I don't know. You go with the defending champs. I think this is one of the better divisions. I think it's gonna be a tussle between the 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals. And I just say, from a experience factor, quarterback, offensive people that they got, I'm picking the Rams to win that division. LA Rams.
Yeah. LA Rams. I'm with it. I am with it. I got them winning that division as well. Let's see. So we'll go NFC North. Who you got in the NFC North?
Well, believe it or not, I think this is the hard one to pick. Everybody obvious choice to the Packers. But don't sleep on the Vikings, man. Don't.
No, you can't. You can't sleep on them. I wouldn't sleep on them. I got them going to the playoffs.
Yeah, I like the offensive execution. I like those receivers. And I think people are not paying a lot of attention to the Vikings this year. But obviously the Packers are the team to beat. And don't this ain't a joke, but the Lions are going to be much better.
I can see that. I can see them being improving. They're going to improve. I don't know about the playoffs, but they're going to be much improved from last year.
I got motivated.
I like
watching them on HBO. The head coach, I like him, man.
I like Dan Campbell, man. I do. I like Dan Campbell. I do like Dan Campbell. But yeah. I'm going with the obvious choice. Because I can't go against the diva himself. You know, I can't go against the diva himself. One thing he's going to do, he's going to drop double-digit wins in the regular season. He might get put out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But he will put up double-digit wins, and I could definitely see the Packers. Oh, you got another one. Nessa, he going with the Vikings. Vikings and Packers come down the last few games. Stand with Packers. Lions will shock some teams. Yeah. Hey, there it is. He say, give me the Vikings. Ness going with the Vikings. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. So let's go NFC South. Who you got?
Well, I'm going with the Bucks, even though the Saints got their number. But I think the Bucks gonna dominate that division. I don't know what's up with the Saints. The Saints, in my opinion, might finish third in that division this year. Don't sleep on the Falcons. I mean, a lot of people. The Falcons might finish second in that division.
Hey, it could be a possibility. I could see it. I could see that as a possibility. I want to go Bucks. Bucks is the easy answer there. And the Saints are tough because I don't know what are you going to get from Jameis. And what are you going to get from that offense? Because defensively, even though they did give up Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for a bag of Skittles and some Gatorade, dude, they gave that kid up for seemingly nothing. I wouldn't mind giving that capital up that they moved to get him to bring him here to Jacksonville. You know, because just from what was given up, I mean, I could part with that.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna go Bucks. I'm gonna go Bucks for that as well. Yeah, I can see the Bucks winning that division. And, hey, with Brady is just like Rodgers. It ain't noble to the fat lady saying, I'm not going against him until he called it a career.
Yeah, me too. Put me on that list too.
Yeah.
Especially for a divisional title, for a divisional crown. Brady.
Brady's Brady. What about Philadelphia Eagles playoff? To win their division, everybody's better. I picked the Eagles to win the division. He picked Dallas. I picked the Eagles. I think the Eagles gonna win that division for sure. I think they got it. So, how much I want to say my Panthers, got to give it to the Bucks as defending champs. Hey, listen, somebody picked the Panthers to win the division on Good Morning Football. I forgot which one of them it was, but I saw that and I couldn't believe that.
Well, it might have a change Baker Mayfield. We'll see. He got to get along with his teammates. Maybe he learned his lesson.
Hey, talking about Tampa all day. Brady going hard because his old lady going. Hey, stick around. That's the next topic. We got to dive into that right there. Let's see. All right. So we going to the AFC. AFC South. Who you got?
AFC South. Let's see. Boy, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Titans. And I think the Jags will finish third.
Titans, okay.
Titans, Colts, and Jags. The Jags will be competitive, and I think they will beat the Texans. They haven't beaten the Texans in like 5 years.
Okay. Yeah. I am going with the Colts. I think they have a great team. One of the better O-lines in the league. Jonathan Taylor is an absolute beast. They have a really good defense, that D-line. DeForest Buckner, you got Darius Leonard. Got a gang of tight ends there as well. I'm going to go with the Colts on that one. So, let's see. AFC North, who you got?
Man, I got to flip a coin. I'm going with the Bengals, but I think the Ravens going to be pretty good. I think the Ravens going to be better than the Steelers, and the Browns going to be at the bottom of the pack. But the Bengals, can they carry over that magical season from a year ago? I think they can. I think they, obviously got the quarterback. They got the wide receiver. And I think they got the firepower to win that division offensively.
Okay. Yeah, I can see this division with none of those teams being really bad. I think all of them are going to be good. Even the Browns, because the Browns have a great team.
Yeah.
Even though they're going to be without Deshaun Watson for the first 11 games. But I got the Ravens winning with the Bengals coming in second. And Bengals will be one of my wild card teams for the playoffs on the AFC side. So I got the Bengals going, Pittsburgh, and then the Browns. I mean, it's even though it's a coin flip for me between Pittsburgh and the Browns, who are going to finish third, because I don't want to go against Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin is an excellent coach. He's never had a losing season, but he is starting Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, let's say that again. He's starting Mitchell
Trubisky, like his mother, like Mitchell Trubisky. His mother said everybody call him Mitch Trubisky. She's like, his name is Mitchell. It's not Mitch. Okay, well, Mitch Trubisky, Mitchell Trubisky is starting. And I'm not sure about that. Man, I'm just Kenny Pickett just must be haven't shown them enough. It doesn't seem ready enough. But we done seen the Mitchell Trubisky movie, man. I mean, it is what it is.
That'd be the first team to make a starting quarterback change by week 4 at the latest. And they go with Ricky. He's not going to sit. If Mitch throws interceptions, make bad reads and make dumb plays, he's not going to sit there and let that happen without pulling them. So that's one thing I can say about the head coach.
What? This some Jaguar praise from Kassan? What? He said he got the Titans winning, but he got the Colts and the Jaguars tying at second. What? Oh, okay. I'm not mad at it.
He done became convinced with Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. All right.
Hey, Ness got the Jags. He said he got the Jags winning all day. Jags gonna shock the world. Okay, we gonna be the Bengals of last year. I like it. I like it. Yeah, Ravens top in the division. So you got the Ravens. Yeah, I got the Ravens. Ness got the Bengals for sure. He say. And he may start the season that started, but by game 3 he won't be starting. Yeah, Kassan, the Mitchell Trubisky, he gonna be out of there. Kenny Pickett, from the little bit I saw of Kenny Pickett, I like what I saw. Damn the hand size. They thought I was making fun because he said he got small hands for a quarterback. Dude, I like what I saw from Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, he'll be the starter by the end of September.
Yeah, absolutely. You say AFC East. Who you got?
Well, I like the Dolphins, but I like the Bills. I like the Bills. I think I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills make it to the Super Bowl this year. But I like the Dolphins. It's going to be a good division, a good competitive division. The Patriots will be there too. But I got Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, and it's going to be a tight race between those 3 teams. But those 2 teams. I think the Dolphins and Bills are ahead of the Patriots right now.
Okay. I can see that. I can definitely see that. I got the Bills. Definitely. I got the Bills. I think they're the class of that division right now. Miami is Tua has no more excuses. This is it for Tua. This is it. Because if Brian Flores hadn't blew it up, they'll have Brady anyway. Right now, Brian Flores hadn't blew it up. But also, they were in the running for Deshaun Watson before he chose Cleveland. So this is it for Tua. They made it clear that they're moving on. So this is it. He said Dolphins is do or die. He said 1 Bills, 2 tied, Patriots, Dolphins okay. Kassan got the Bills, Patriots and Dolphins tied at 2. He said Dolphins is do or die. Yeah. Let's say Bills all day. They have something to prove this season. Yeah, absolutely. They ran out of time. Dude, if they had the ball last, they would have won that game against the Chiefs, man. Neither team could stop the other. You know, just what it was. Okay, so now AFC West.
Well, I'm picking an upset. I'm not picking the Chiefs.
Really?
I'm gonna pick the Chargers.
The Chargers.
They've been under the radar in LA. Nobody love them in LA. I like some of the moves they made. I definitely like their starting quarterback. And I think that they're going to put up a whole bunch of points. I think they're going to go into Kansas City and win that shootout. And this is...
You almost beat them last year.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a division that everybody keep their eye on. They got to. You look at everybody got a quarterback that might throw for 4,000 yards in each of those 4 teams. But I don't know. There's something about the Chargers, man. They just been the hamstruck franchise. They moved from San Diego to LA. They don't get any respect. They got some nice uniforms. I like that they got Boza. They got a decent defense. I like the weapons that they have for the quarterback, but I think they do, man. I just think that they've been under the gun, man. You know, they couldn't close out games. You know, you go back to their history, they put up like 28 points and then can't finish the game. And I think all that stuff might be behind them. And this gonna be I'm gonna keep my eye on this division the whole year, man. I want to see how well Russell Wilson and the Broncos and the Chiefs and the Raiders, all of them got high explosive offenses, but Chargers are due. So I'm going with the Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders, and I'm not sold on the Broncos.
Neither am I. I am not sold on the Broncos. But hey, I'm with you. I am with you. I'm just not with that team, but I'm with you. Because I'm taking the Raiders win the division. I'm taking the Raiders. I like the Raiders, man. I think the Raiders
they got
win this division. Yeah.
They got Mr. Carr at quarterback. So he's got this. I like a vertical team, man. They're a vertical team. They got a decent, I think they're gonna get after some quarterbacks on that defensive front. So, but I think they're gonna be the talk of the league. That division is gonna get everybody attention.
Yeah. So I got Chargers, Raiders, and Chiefs. 1, 2, and 3. Man, don't nobody like the Broncos, man. Everybody out on the Broncos. Golly. He said, I like that, Uncle John. Give me the Chargers too. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Shoot, I mean, this could be the division where, so that's 4. So 4 teams, your 4 teams, you picked that to basically win a division, and these are 4 playoff teams to AFC. You got Titans, Bengals, Bills, and Chargers. I got Colts, Ravens, Bills, and Raiders. So for my 3 wild card teams, of course, I got the Chiefs. The Chiefs will be in that first wild card spot, even if they're not going to win their. I don't have them winning the division, but they're going to the playoffs. There's no way they're going to be out of the playoffs. I had Cincinnati. I had Ravens winning, so Cincinnati, I got them. That's my other one, and I will go with. And I picked the Colts, so I'm going to go with the Titans. I'm going to say the Titans will round up that last wild card spot.
Yeah, I go with what you got. Where you got the Raiders at? You got the Raiders winning?
I got the Raiders winning the division, so you're going to have the Raiders making the playoffs as a wild card.
Yeah. Okay. So who do you got? How many teams from the AFC West you got making the playoff?
I got the Raiders, Chiefs. You know what? Matter of fact, skip that. Skip the Titans. I got the Chargers. So 3 teams. This is the division where I see 3 teams can go to the playoffs. It almost happened last year. I got the Raiders winning division. And I got the Chiefs and the Chargers making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that'll be it for me. So Bengals, Chiefs, and Chargers for my wild cards for the AFC.
Yeah, well, I got 3 teams from that division in the playoffs. I don't think the Colts go into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the Raiders, Chiefs. Damn, I gotta figure it out here. Hold on. Well, my wild card teams.
You say you got Raiders.
I got the Raiders,
You say you got the Chiefs.
Chiefs, Dolphins,
And the Dolphins. Okay, those are the 3.
Yeah.
Raiders, Chiefs, Dolphins. All right, I've got to do the NFC. So let's go. Let's do NFC. NFC wild card teams. Remember, for you pick Dallas, the Rams, Vikings, and the Bucks to win their division. So those are your 4 division winners. So you pick 3. Yeah,
Well,
3, 4.
I'm picking the. I'm picking.
Got to go with the Packers.
Well, I picked them to win the division.
No, you picked the Vikings.
Oh no, I picked the Packers. I say the team to watch is the Vikings.
Okay, so you picking the Packers. Okay. I thought you was taking the. Okay, so you gonna take the Vikings as
the Vikings. I'm taking the and this NFC West is what got me. I obviously the Eagles, and I go with the 49ers. That's my 3. Vikings, 49ers, and Eagles.
Okay. Eagles. 49ers. All right. Let's see what I got. Let's see. Let's see. I picked the Eagles to win, Rams to win, Packers to win, and Bucks to win. So I'm gonna go. I definitely 49ers for sure. Definitely got taking the 49ers. I think that they will be a wild card. After the 49ers, you know what? I'm going to give my dog some love, man, because I think he's going to have a good season. I got the Saints. Saints getting there. I'm going to get the Saints that last spot. They're going to squeak in, and it's going to be like week 17. They're going to squeak right on in. Got the Saints. And I guess I want to say the Cowboys, but I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? I'm not going to go Cowboys because I'm going to go with my boy who need to study his playbook more, Mr. Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Cardinals. It's hard not to get them in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, that division is tough, though. It's going to be hard. That'll be 3 teams because the Rams and the 49ers going. I don't see a scenario where, unless they just have a slew of injuries, neither one of them going. So the Cardinals is going to be tough for them. And that's the NFC division where 3 teams can make the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, they made it last year, didn't they? Didn't they get 3 out of there?
Yeah, they were in.
And the Seahawks are just like the stepchild.
Yeah, they the stepchild right now. Yeah, they definitely the stepchild right now. But man, yeah, that's it right there. I like it a lot. Man. So So now, Super Bowl picks. We know we're going to the playoffs. Who you got going to the Super Bowl? And we going to move on to Mr. Tom Brady.
Ooh, man, that's a tough one to pick. I got Buffalo in the AFC. In the NFC, I got that's a tough one. I might say Green Bay. They definitely do. I say Bills and Green Bay.
Okay, I'm not mad at it at all.
His last hurrah before he go work in Hollywood.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
the
because
end.
that's coming.
Yeah. The last hurrah.
Okay. So AFC. I picked the Chiefs last year. They almost went. Disappointed me, but they almost went. But I'm gonna go with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I got the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Lamar catches fire. Okay, he say Bills versus 49ers. Nets got Bills 49ers. I like that too.
Yeah.
I can see it being Bills Ravens or Bills Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl once again. He say you got my Panthers making the playoffs, shock the world.
Really? Okay. We'll see about that one. Baker Mayfield be an MVP for that to happen.
Oh man, he gonna have to ball out.
Yeah.
Ball out.
Gotta get along.
I mean, they don't have a bad team. You know, you just got a all-world running back who hamstrings are made out of paper mache. It's just what it is. So, but I got Ravens in the AFC and the NFC. I'm taking the Rams. I like them to go back. I think they're strong. I got Rams, Ravens in the Super Bowl.
All right. Jalen gonna get 2 rings.
Man, he definitely ain't gonna shut up then.
He be playing like Deion's son.
Yeah. Let's see. I got Rams, Ravens, and who you picks was? You said Bills, Packers.
Bills and Packers. Yep.
Okay.
Bills gonna win it all. Bills gonna be the long lost Super Bowl champs. Something they couldn't do in the 90s. That fan base, they need to celebrate a championship. They finally gonna be able to do it.
Okay. Well, I got the Rams winning, so I got them going back to back. Back to back. Absolutely, man. But all right, well, we're gonna leave it right there. I can't wait. Was Thursday night first game? Yeah, Thursday night.
Bills and Rams. Yeah. We're gonna see if them Super Bowl champs can pull off that victory.
Absolutely.
And they play in LA. They play in the space capsule.
Yeah. Man, I got to get out there to that stadium, man. That stadium is just, it looks absolutely amazing.
I said to myself,
he say change that. Give me the Bills versus Rams. Trey Lance ain't quite ready yet. Okay, I got you, Ness. I got you.
Yeah, they got the other.
Yeah, I don't think Trey Lance is quite ready just yet. But remember, Ness, Garoppolo's still there, and one thing he can do, he can take him to a Super Bowl. He's done it twice. I mean, well, no, he's done it once, and he almost did it a second time. So, just saying.
Right.
Let's talk about Mr. Tom Brady. Everybody was up in arms about this 10-day absence. Man, you should have heard these holier-than-thou people talking about, oh, my God, it was unprecedented for a starting quarterback to miss time like this, right before the season starts and all of this. And, man, they were just going in and all of that. And I'm like, dude, okay, if this was Lamar Jackson, okay, I get that.
Yeah.
If this was, he would have been skewered if this was Lamar. If this was Josh Allen and you criticize this, cool, got it. If this was Patrick Mahomes and you had this criticism, I'm fine with that. No issue with that at all. Dude, if this was any of those guys, any of those young guys, these up and comers, or even some, if this was Russell Wilson and you said this, okay, I'm fine with your criticism. This Derek Carr, you said that, fine with the criticism. Dak Prescott, I'm fine with the criticism. But it's Tom Brady. He's 45 years old. How much practice does Tom Brady need at this point? I mean, he could sleep. Come on, man. He could sleepwalk through this. That's not a concern for me. Okay, that's not a concern. So I heard all these people, I can't believe in this. So I was like, man, get out of here with that. Nobody want to hear that, man. Hey, this man has some problems going on, and he needed this time. Hey, and you wonder why he unretired. This is one of the reasons why. They talking about, man, Tom Brady took his kids to school for a whole week, and he was like, you know what? I got a little bit left in the tank. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Let's check out this article right here, man. It says Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen are reportedly in an epic fight, and she's left the family compound. So let's see. Some celebrity relationship drama is making its way around the internet. Page 6 is out here reporting that Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen are in the middle of an epic fight about his decision to unretire from the NFL, and they're reporting that she's left the family compound in Tampa for a trip to Costa Rica. Tom and Gisele are in a fight right now, one source told the outfit. While another added, there's been trouble in the marriage over his decision to unretire. Gisele has always been the one with the kids. They had agreed he would retire to focus on the family. Then he changed his mind. Meanwhile, a third anonymous source claimed the couple have a fiery relationship and that Gisele is a bit hot-headed, which I have heard that this isn't the first time they've had some issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, let's see, where was I at? Okay, yeah, one of Page 6's fleet of sources also notes that after Tom unretired, Gisele went back to work. It's almost like Gisele was like, well, if you're going to keep playing, so will I, the source said. She's resentful that Tom is still the football star. That's the other part I've heard, that she is jealous. It's a bit of jealousy that Tom Brady is the man. I mean, and he is Tom Brady. I mean, what else did you expect? I can't sympathize with you on that one because you married Tom Brady. You knew who this man was. He wasn't 6th round pick Tom Brady when you met him. He was Super Bowl champion a couple times over Tom Brady. So I don't want to hear that at all.
Yeah.
As Page 6 notes, Tom spoke about the impact of his career has had on his marriage during a chat with Howard Stern in 2020, saying that several years prior, Gisele didn't feel he was doing his part for the family and felt like, I will play football all season and she would take care of the house. She wasn't satisfied with our marriage, so I needed to make a change in that. Her point was, well, yeah, of course this works for you. It all works for you, but it doesn't work for me. Say for FYI, one of Page 6 sources said Tom and Gisele have had arguments before and have always reunited in the past. Now, this is interesting. And this is interesting because, damn it, it's Tom Brady, man. I mean, if Tom Brady can't keep it together in this, man, what hope does the average man have of keeping a woman satisfied? Man? Come on, what is he not doing for the family? So, I mean, this is not like she's slaving over a stove, she's hand washing and hanging and drying sheets, and she's cooking home-cooked meals every night. No, that stuff is outsourced. So what is the issue? This is a football player. You knew this going into the relationship, and you married him. You saw what this was. But you thought that he was going to retire when you wanted him to. No, Tom is not ready to retire. And he said it best. Why? When it's easier than it's ever been for him. You know, the game has slowed down to a crawl for him. He can damn near see things before they even develop now. Why would I give it up now when the game has come so easy to me now? There's no way. But he's stuck by his guns. He's coming back. He's going to play some more. and it's caused a rift in the relationship. Hey, and I will say, hey, it is what it is, because he's only going to have one chance to do this. After he retires, it's not like he can retire now and go back and play if he changes his mind. No, once he retires, he's done. He's done. Come on, man. He's 45. There's not much time left anyway.
Well, I only have a few takes of this. But this is what I think Tom did, and this is why I think they're having problems. I mean, I believe Tom made a commitment to her that he was going to retire and gave his word.
Probably so.
And obviously he didn't hold true to the word, and she took that to be, as being the wife who helped raise the kids, and you have the family discussion. We're going to do this. They probably playing this. This is Tom going to take the kids to school, and all the kids happy that they're going to see their father more time, establish a better relationship if it wasn't. But, they sat around and made family plans. And then Tom just said, hey, I want to get back. I can't be family man right now. You got to at least let me have another shot at a Super Bowl, another shot to play. And she probably said, that's it. Our agreement was you was going to come back, play 1 year, see how it go, and then you're going to walk away. So that's what I think it is. I think she's saying that she sacrificed her career and raised the kids and did everything. And I think that she's saying that Tom probably looking at football more than he is to his own family. So that's why she took a Costa Rica trip mad. I think that's why he had to take 10 days off to reassure that this is the final year. And I think that's what it is, man. I think he broke his promise.
Yeah, Tom said the hell with that minivan.
Tom say, man, I can't be a soccer dad right now.
Yeah. Now, what I will give Giselle is the fact that she doesn't want him to get seriously hurt. Understand that completely. Got no argument there. I understand that, Giselle. She don't want to take care of a vegetable. Got that? Or God forbid something even worse happening. I understand that completely. So that fear of hers is warranted. Got that.
Well, they don't want the kids either. You don't want your children to see him suffer. If he suffer, you know what it is. I just feel that this is a sacrifice where she done sacrificed all of her career for his career. He's probably putting his career over the family. It's one of them family squabbles, and she didn't win, so she gonna take a trip, get in his head, force him to understand that family is more important than football. And I think this is the final season for Tom.
Hey, Tom should hit her with that like the those prima donnas where they be like, I can't believe you upset me this close to showtime. Like, I can't believe you upset me this close to my season starting. What are you doing? I can't be distracted. I need to be focused on football. And I get that too. She's probably tired of his focus being on football, because in order for Tom to be as great as he is, you have to have OCD. You have to have Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant level OCD to be great. It's obsessive compulsive disorder to be this great. Eat, sleep, and breathe it. You have to do it. Shannon Sharp talked about this. He said, I miss games, I miss recitals, I missed all of that. I had to be football. And the thing about that is, if you're not that way, you're not going to be as great. And a lot of times you may end up getting hurt.
Yeah.
You have to be football centric.
And I can't imagine. Just imagine. I feel that nothing gets in the way of Tom and football during the season.
Nothing.
If she took a trip to wherever, Costa Rica or whatever she had, I'm sure they got a nanny there watching the kids. while he's watching football tape of who they open it. Oh, he's watching Cowboys tape right now. So it is what it is, man. This ain't nothing but this is a midlife crisis. Here's a quarterback. It's hard to give up the glory. It's hard to not say, you look back 5 years and he don't want to say, man, what if I would have played a couple of more seasons and got the 8th, 9th, 10th Super Bowl trophy. Yeah, and I think she's probably feel he's being insensitive toward the family, thinking more about his legacy and not the family's have already made enough sacrifices throughout his career. So I think that's what it is. But hey, man, every family in America got issues.
Yeah, and that's the other part of it too, is that Tom is probably having a hard time letting go because, to us, he's Tom Brady. He's 7-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, greatest quarterback to ever toss a pigskin. I mean, that's what he is. In his house, he's just Tom. He's dad.
Yeah.
And it is. I would say, I'm sure it's very hard to let that go.
And I'm agree with you, Brandon. I think that you can't be at his level, win all those Super Bowls, and not put probably 400% in everything in the football from the time training camp. Well, even off-season program, if you really look at it, he probably got into shape. He probably been football since February. Or sometime after February, the end of February, early March. So let's just say March. He's been all football since March to now.
Yeah.
Now he's got until January, February, depending on how far they get to the playoffs and get through the playoffs. And that's what it is. So it's a full year commitment. And I think she's upset about that. And I don't know the ages of the kids. How old are their children?
How old is this? Let's see. How old is the kids? I don't think they have any little kids. I don't think they have any kids under 5.
I think they're preteen and teens, I think.
Yeah, I don't think they have any under 5 years old. Let me see.
In this situation, mama always listens to the children.
Oh yeah, of course. Let's see. They got 3 kids. I know he has a son, Jack. It's from that's not Giselle's kid.
Mm-hmm.
So his son Jack is he's I think he's a preteen or he's a teen.
Yeah, I think he's a teen. I think he's like 14, 15.
Yeah, Benjamin. Yeah, I'm looking at them now, and none of them they're not little kids. These are all, they look like they be in the youngest, like she's probably in elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you got a preteen. One looks like he's about 10, 11, and then younger one, she's probably about 7 or 8 years old. Yeah.
Well, the younger one is probably the one talking about she needs to see her daddy more. That's the one telling mom, I want to see daddy more.
Probably. Yeah, that's probably the one. But hey, man, it is what it is. So yeah, we'll see how it affects him this upcoming season, because I'm pretty sure right now, even though that's going on, I'm certain that that's in the back of his mind right now. He's preparing for Dallas, like you said.
No question. When he came back, I guess he tried to police it as best he could for the timeout. And once he returns, that's it. It's all football. It's working. It work itself out between now and December, but he going back to football. So. And that's what's most amazing for Tom Brady. I mean, this guy got to have focus. He does. He can't be easily distracted. I mean, it takes so much to win them kind of big games and the focus that he has, man. It's probably like no athlete, maybe other than a Michael Jordan, that has the focus. You know, I still think there are things about Tom Brady that we don't know, just what went all into being who he is and on the football field. But you know, I think right now at this point, definitely all business.
Yeah. Definitely all business. So, but we're gonna move on. We're gonna leave that right there. We're gonna get into this last topic, and then we're gonna do like a little, because I got like four other things, but I didn't want to really make them in the topic. So we're gonna go like rapid fire on these four to end it. But we're gonna get into this Trey Lance real quick. So it says Trey Lance is reportedly annoyed in the aftermath of Jimmy G's return. So it said it looks like there will be no shortage of storylines between first-year starter Trey Lance and veteran backup Jimmy Garoppolo heading into the 2022 NFL season. In the wake of Garoppolo's shocking pay cut to remain with the 49ers, Sports Illustrated's Albert Breer reported Monday that it took some time for Lance to digest the news. And while I heard Lance was a little annoyed in the immediate aftermath, he's a smart, mature kid who I believe can handle it, Breer wrote in his Monday morning quarterback column. Truth is, if he couldn't, you might have bigger questions about where the Niners are at the position. See, editor's note, Breer since noted that his wording was a bit presumptive, and the original Monday morning quarterback article has been edited with the mention of annoyed removed. The line now reads, while I heard the news was, as you expect, a little complicated for Lance to take at first, he's a smart, mature kid who I believe can handle it. Nah, he came back and he edited this to take out annoyed, but I believe what he said the first time. You know, he removed it because he probably got some backlash, or some 49ers people called him, or maybe he got some pressure, from his editor to change it or whatever. But he was probably I think the real story and what it really is what he first reported. He was annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Say to the 22-year-old Lance's credit, his coach Kyle Shanahan revealed the young quarterback responded positively when told Garoppolo would be returning. It was unexpected, but the team's inability to trade a 30-year-old resulted in the compromise. When I told Trey that Jimmy was going to come back, it's like awesome. Shanahan told reporters on August 30th, that dude was awesome for me last year. I can't wait to be the same way. Trey was great. He said, and in speaking with reporters shortly after the news broke, Lance expressed excitement at having his big bro Garoppolo back out at practice after receiving assurance from Shanahan that nothing would change. It makes the QB room all that much better, Lance said September 1st. Another great resource to me, a guy who has played in offense, a guy who has done it, who has played a lot of ball. He's going to add a lot to our QB room. Shortly after Breer's column was published Monday, he went on 95.7 The Game to further clarify what he wrote about Lance. He said, from what I understand, Trey's reaction was natural. I think it's complicated news for him to take in the immediate aftermath. You're probably processing a lot of things. So he followed that up by saying that the 49ers' ability to communicate their plan moving forward is what will help the team navigate any rough waters. I do think the Niners, their ability to communicate clearly with their players on this sort of thing, I think this is what's going to carry them through. From 49ers tight end George Kittle calling the situation beneficial for Lance to others claiming he will be supplanted by Garoppolo halfway through the season. It's clear that San Francisco's QB saga has spurred a myriad of differing opinions. Nevertheless, expect Lance, Garoppolo, and the rest of the 49ers to do their best to quell any doubt of their ability to coexist when San Francisco kicks off the season against the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field on September 11th. I believe everything that was said to begin with. I believe he's annoyed. I believe he doesn't like this. I believe he thought Jimmy G, they communicated to him that they were moving Jimmy G. They ended up not moving him. And when he found out they gave him the news, he was annoyed. Because I'm always a believer that where there's smoke, there's fire. Because if there was nothing to this, there'd be nothing to report. This wouldn't be out here. He's backpedaling on this from pressure from somebody. I believe exactly what was reported the first time.
Yeah, I agree, and I think he should be ignored. Annoyed. I think that I don't know. I just think San Francisco I mean, it just seems like when you go back and you look at how Green Bay handled their situation, and you look at this one here, I think sometimes the hardest thing for a franchise is to hand the key to a young quarterback, and you're not really sure if he's ready or not. And I think that's 49ers' dilemma. I don't know if he's shown enough. I heard that he was slinging it the first couple of days of training camp, but then decision making, not getting it to the right guy, misreads. And I think out of panic, because this is a year for 49ers. I mean, you go to the fans, you go to the management. I mean, this is a year that they're banking on that, we feel we got Super Bowl talent. And we pretty much got Super Bowl talent at every position. And the one question mark is that quarterback position with a young, Trey, with Lance, is he ready? Yeah. And the only way you're going to know is he get thrown out there in the fire. And, this Jimmy G stuff been going on. I mean, it's been going on since the season ended, out of all the places that was reported about where he's going. Where's his landing spots? Jimmy G going this place. Is he a fit in Indianapolis? Is he a fit here? Is he a fit there? And it's just like, man, it's just like a news flash came that sort of shocking, but didn't even draw the attention that it probably should have drawn, that these guys are signing and re-signing Jimmy G. After all that, you even go back, you listen to the broadcast of that game against Green Bay. They was talking about his future then. His future may not be in San Francisco. And then you got all that time, you done named. I mean, I think that they had in a press conference, they said that we're going to hand the keys to this franchise to Trey Lance. It's his time. And then you have this, and then you got a Jimmy G looking. I mean, Lance feel that he's got a guy looking over his shoulder. First time he make a mistake. That pressure, you could say what you want. The franchise president, GM, we don't see it that way. There's a reason they brought Jimmy G back. And I just feel they brought him back because they don't know what they're gonna get over the course of a 17-game season with Trey Lance. And they know what you're going to get from Jimmy G. You look at what he did last year. He took him one game from making it to the Super Bowl, and they basically re-signed him cheap. And I think this is what hurts football teams, man. When you create a basically a distraction that's never going to go away. As long as Jimmy G is there, as long as you have Lance as your starting quarterback, every question going to be asked after practice. How did he go? How did they perform? If this kid come in and doesn't have a super performance in week one, it's going to start from there. It's going to be Jimmy G, Lance, quarterback battle. And I think the 49ers knew that when they re-signed him. And I think that this kid it may not even take back-to-back bad games. It might just take one bad game against a big-time, divisional opponent or one of those AFC 5, one of those high explosive offensive teams, and they're gonna yank him from the job. You can see the writing on the wall of this already, man. And the writing on the wall is we got a young quarterback. We think he's talented, but we don't know if he's ready yet. We know what we got in Jimmy G. We don't know what we got in Lance. We don't know how he's going to perform in big games. We don't know if he has the experience to take us all the way on a successful Super Bowl run. Let's have our insurance piece. We don't want to send him somewhere else. Let's see how it go this year and have that insurance, which is Jimmy G. That's basically what this is.
Absolutely. I am with you on that because you can't convince me that you couldn't move Jimmy Garoppolo for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, if Trey Lance is your guy, unquestionably keys to the franchise, we got Trey Lance going for it. He's the guy. I'm moving Jimmy G for a sack of potatoes. because I already got my guy. I don't need to get fair compensation necessarily for Jimmy Garoppolo. I just need him moved because this is my guy. But they didn't do that. And there's a reason they didn't do that, because they're not confident. It's obvious. It's obvious to anybody with eyes. And it's obvious to Trey Lance. That's why he's annoyed.
Mm-hmm. And that's the hardest thing, man. That's the hardest thing for a quarterback, to not feel, number one, that he's given a true opportunity, and he's not feeling that the organization, even though they drafted him, even though they moved up spots to just elect him, that they don't have the faith in his talent potential to just rely on his ability through this season. And that's I mean, some quarterbacks don't recover from that. I hope this kid do. But, some quarterbacks, who knows? This kid might say, you guys didn't believe him. I want to go play elsewhere. But that's the risk you take. He may not give you what you want out of him just because you done messed up his psyche.
Yeah.
Can you imagine this, though, Brandon? This is almost like, okay, you got Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, and you go out and sign a veteran to look over his shoulder. If that happened in Jacksonville, every story would be written about Lawrence and this veteran backup quarterback. It'll be a little bit of like it'll be a little bit what Minshew and Lawrence, but it'll be a lot. It would be double the what that was, which it was awkward last season. The guy getting starter reps while he done drafted the number 1 overall pick, and he's got to fight for the position. I mean, come on, man. We knew what that was, but this is similar to that. And this is the 49er organization. We got to see more. That's what they're telling Lance. We got to see more from you. They'll convince us, with competition at practice.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if Trey Lance goes out and he gets them, let's say he gets them to a 5-2 start, a 6-1 start, he races out. And let's say another team has a major injury at quarterback and they come calling for Jimmy G. You move him. You're like, okay, we've seen from Lance. He's been excellent. He's been great. Then he probably most likely will get moved. But until then, no, because I can see this happening. Running game is good. Defense is playing well, but Lance is struggling. And they are middle of the pack. They're 5-5, or they're 4-4. Yeah, let's say they're 4-4, and Lance is struggling, but the defense is playing well. Running game is good, but he's struggling in their 4-4. You better believe Jimmy G is he's warming up in the bullpen for certain.
Yeah, but this can also backfire. This kid could be a tremendous 4,000 whatever yards thrower.
Yeah,
lead the league in touchdowns. And the question going to be at the end of the season, how you felt? What's your reaction that the 49ers didn't believe in you enough?
Somebody's going to ask the question because it's obvious.
Yeah.
It's obvious. Yeah.
What's your response to that? That they brought back Jimmy G, didn't believe in you? And do you feel slighted? That's what he'll get that question for the rest of his career in San Francisco. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, we'll see how the season unfolds for them. Man, we're gonna leave it right there, and we're gonna get into a few of these. Got like four different topics, man, and we're gonna get into it. So, let's see. First things first. Oh, we've got to mention in the beginning: college football playoff expanded to 12 teams. What's your take on that?
I think it's good. I mean, I know you're going to get some people to say that they don't look at the best interests of that student athlete because of, the extra games. But I like it. I think it should have been in place the whole time. I think that you want to find out the best team in the nation, number one. You got to get through it. I like 12. Give me 12 teams. Get the best team
and do it like the NCAA tournament.
Okay, I like it too. I like it. This gives the non-blue bloods a chance, because if you're you've seen Texas and Oklahoma, they're bouncing, they're going to the SEC. USC and UCLA is going to the Big Ten. So now the Pac-12 and the Big 12, it's like, man, how in the world are you going to be able to put together anything? Somebody win that conference and you say that they're playoff worthy. People are going to be like, well, this is a major conference. Well, you don't really have the pieces. You don't have the competition. But now 12 teams can go now. So now the likes of those teams can get in because, outside of let's say Ohio State, Alabama, Notre Dame, because Notre Dame could win out the rest of this year and they can make the playoff whether people like it or not, even though every time they go they get the doors blown off of them, which is hilarious, but they can end up back in the playoff. Texas A&M, Georgia, and the way Georgia looks amazing. But now this gives the chance for a non-blue blood and non-major conference teams to make the playoff. And I think that this could throw a little parity in it because remember, this isn't a 7-game series. This is a 1 game. This is do or die. Go home. And that anybody could win on any given Saturday or Sunday. That's just what it is. So I like it. And we all know, like we say, this is about money.
No question about that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So, next, Marcus Jordan. He was in the news. Apparently, he was spotted out with Larsa Pippen, Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, and what looked like for them to be on a date. And it's speculation. It's not sure if that's exactly what it was, but that's what it looked like. But let's just say that's what it was. That's incredibly cringy because we got to remember Larsa Pippen was around them and she watched him grow up. And so now she's supposedly dating him. Got to call that out. Got to call it for what it is. She probably changed his diapers and now she's dating him. They always talk about men going after young women. I want to hear, hey, y'all better criticize her just as much. I don't want to hear it. Criticize her just as much. But besides that, dude, we already know what the beef is between Pippen and Jordan right now. Man, this is even more. He just threw a log onto the fire if this is the case. And I know Scotty nor Michael is happy about this right now. If that's the case.
So that's the son?
Yeah, Marcus Jordan. Yeah, Marcus Jordan, Jordan's son is supposedly dating Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, Larsa Pippen.
Oh, man, that's soap opera, man. That's soap opera talk.
Isn't it? It really is.
You know, they working for the reality show on TMZ.
Man, it is, man. So I saw that and I was like, man, come on, man. But it's speculation. They were together, looked like they were on a date, but don't know for sure. But, hey, it is what it is. Next on the list, J.R. Smith say he's felt like him, guys like him, Jamal Crawford, and there was one other two of them, feels like they were blackballed from the league. And look, JR, I'm happy for you. You're in a great place right now. You're in college, making good grades. You're trying to go get your degree. He's on the golf team. He's excelling at life right now. He's in a totally different space from where he was in his playing days. But I'm gonna need him to go ahead and put the bottle down because you must have been drinking. Because ain't no way. There's nobody blackballing you. Well, you know what happened? You got old. You got old, and your baggage outweighs your talent at this point. Nobody's blackballing y'all.
Well, last I checked, LeBron told him to come play for the Lakers when they were in the bubble. He played on the championship team in the bubble, and he didn't play much. So he got another ring. They listened to LeBron. They brought him to the Lakers. So I don't see that. I mean, JR will say a whole, I don't know. Sometimes JR go off the deep end on some of these comments, and I think that he went off the deep end on this one. I don't think they play. If he got talent, they'll sign him. But he's in a he's in a comfort zone. Don't mess it up. Do what you do. You gonna live that NBA life, and keep impacting young people at that university you had in North Carolina, man.
Yeah,
you had a good
career. Absolutely, man, absolutely. So, but next, Lamar Jackson, man, this contract mess is it's interesting because nothing is moving, and apparently there's so many reports coming out. It's hard to tell what's fiction and what's real. Supposedly, he wants $250 million guaranteed. He wants more than what Deshaun Watson got. They right now they're in an impasse apparently. And of course, he's negotiating without an agent. He is his own representation. But I got to be honest with you, man. You look at what Russell Wilson got, which with what Denver paid Russell Wilson, Super Bowl winning quarterback, Pro Bowler. I got all of that, but I thought that was a bit much for a Russell Wilson at this stage. I would have liked to have seen him play out at least one season in Denver before I gave him that type of money. But hey, that's just me. Look at what Deshaun Watson got. Lamar Jackson is up. I think I would take him over Deshaun Watson right now. I'll take him over Russell Wilson right now, and I would take him over Kyler Murray right now. All those dudes got about 230.
Yeah.
So
230.
What's up? What you giving Lamar his 250? Because let's put it this way: you let Lamar walk out of the door. He becomes probably the greatest free agent to hit the market in NFL history. That's just what it is. Quarterbacks his age, at his skill level, don't hit the market. They don't. So I can't see a scenario where that they let him go. They got to hit a compromise or something. But as far as this right here, it's very interesting because I think once the season starts, he himself said it. Contract talks are off.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you, and I also agree that the Broncos overdid it with Russell Wilson. I think, come on, man, Ravens. I'm gonna go on and school you on this right now. Every franchise is their own entity. Yeah, and what I mean by that is you base the importance of the player on their value. He's your quarterback. He's your quarterback now. He's your quarterback of your future. If it takes $200 million, $250, $225, or whatever it is, get the deal done. He's your quarterback. You'll be having a stain on this franchise for the next 20 years if you allow this guy to walk and go play for somebody else. Stop being cheap. You got a basis, and he's going by the basis, which he should. He should get paid what the rate is, and that's what he wants. Guaranteed. Move on. Pay him. It's not going away. You wait till after the end of the season, the value might go up. So it's almost like building a stadium. You can wait now, pay later, but you're going to pay more. So if you wait. So get the deal done. There's no way around it. You do your fan base what they want. Do what you need to get done and save your franchise from embarrassment. Sign the man. That's what you got to do. There's no way around it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. You heard it from Mr. Reid himself. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on all of my social medias. Follow Mr. Reid on Twitter. And we will be back with more live streams. I appreciate y'all, man. Sad to see us. Got to leave the barbershop. But we will be back next week. Can't wait for Thursday night football to kick off, man. I cannot believe it's just a day away, basically, because it's Tuesday now. Wednesday, it's a day away, man. I can't wait. The start of football is just one of the greatest times of the year. Hey, what I forgot the guy's name who sings like, it's the most wonderful time of the year. It is.
So wait a minute, we ain't getting out of here. The Jags play Sunday. What's your prediction? They gonna win or they gonna lose? Or they gonna fold? What's gonna happen?
I got them beating Washington. I got Trayvon Walker getting a sack and a half on Carson Wentz, forcing a fumble. I got Josh Allen with a sack as well, and I got us winning 20-17. Yeah, 20-17.
Jags too. 24-13, and they're going to it's going to be a long day for Carson Wentz. That's all I got to say. It may not be 10 sacks like they did back in 2017 against the Texans, but this team might have 6 or 7 sacks in this game. Trayvon going to have at least 2. Josh will have 2. Arden Key will have 1.5. And they're going to get after these guys. So we'll see. Jags win.
Jags win, man. Hey, that's it, man. Until next time, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Once again, we are out of here, man. Peace out.